I am the Miami Autism Dad Victor Antunez, the Inclusive My Realtor, and this is the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today, I am blessed to have on Miss Batul Maniar from the South Florida School of Excellence and the Autism School of Excellence, both located in Opa-locka.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We met last April at an event you had there in Opa-locka.
Yes.
And when I asked parents around there about you, they all were just kind of in awe of you. They all felt very blessed to have you there. I've since then spoken to the mayor, Mayor Taylor. He is also super blessed. He thinks to have you there. Also some of his staff. There's Flo, Flo, Miss Flo. Mm-hmm. She has an autistic son. He's in his 20s, and she speaks very highly of you as well. So tell me a little bit about yourself and your school. Yeah.
It is my privilege that I am able to serve the community and open special needs schools. So I am an immigrant from Pakistan, and I came here in 1995. I started and did my master's from Barry University, did my autism certification as well. I worked as a teacher for almost 14 years. And within this journey, being a teacher, I also thought about, I am missing a social emotional part of my students. So I decided to work as a mental health counselor as well. So I put on myself into 2 full-time jobs. Morning as a classroom teacher, ESE specialist, and afternoon is a mental health clinics for children as a psychosocial rehabilitator. And what urged me to do it, to put myself into 2 full-time jobs, is when I was a teacher, I always think there is a big, huge piece of puzzle is missing between the school life and a home life of that student. So no matter how much we teach them to read and learn and science and social studies, math and English, but the social emotional piece of puzzle is missing. How can I bring these 2 services together? So during this journey, I become a very strong advocate to help my families, my parents, my students. I open my home door. So over the weekends, my families and my parents will contact me. I will meet them out in a library. I will go to their homes, help them with the Medicaid, help them with the scholarships, help them with related services their child need, help them to understand how to read the psychological evaluation. So I did this alongside. Did this for 14 years. Then I said, it's not enough. How long is going to be that 2 different services on 2 different places? How can I bring this under one roof? So I thought about opening my own school as a clinical educational school where all therapies are provided under one roof. So I run the business research in Texas from the Business Planet. They informed and certified that there is no clinical educational school in South Florida. So that's given me more strength.
What does that mean by clinical educational?
Clinical educational school means where all services are provided under one roof. So speech therapy, language, occupational, physical, social worker, applied behavior, through registered behavior technicians, and also all extracurricular activities which we are missing at this moment in any typical traditional school. So I then start looking in it, and with the help of city mayor, commissioner of city of Opa-locka, I was able to open a school, special need and regular. At one campus, I started with 85 followers, and I established in 2016. And now as of 2026, I have 360 plus students. Therapies, of course, all are provided under one roof. And I have more than 100 therapists on the floor.
100?
100 therapists on the floor throughout the day. So we are 500 individuals on the floor. Teachers, staff, administrative, therapists, yes.
So it's more than a 1-for-1 ratio then?
Absolutely, yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
How does the economics work? Because that's a lot. I've never seen that ratio.
It's a very positive impact to our students because they are so much cared of. Now, let me tell you why. The private school let all this traffic come in, as my school I'm talking about, as South Florida School of Excellence and Autism School of Excellence, because in the other schools, the liability insurance gets very high when more people are servicing under that roof. So our insurance is high because all of them are insured within us. If anything happened to these individuals, all these therapists, we are liable. In any other school, like public school or charter school, if outside contractor comes in, it's difficult for them. because there's a lot of federal issues involved in it.
I understand. Yes.
That is the reason. But we are taking that risk, having all those subcontractors. I have more than 35 individual companies running the business under our roof at this moment. And who we are doing this for? We are doing that for that child, because we want to have a comprehensive approach on that child. In the end of the day, it's about only one Victor, for example. It's only one student, for example. That student individual education plan must be created among everybody sitting on the table. And not that parent has to run at the school principal, then the vice principal, then the speech clinic, and then the occupational clinic, then the behavior clinic. Why not everybody sit on one table? Because it's about the one student.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a comprehensive approach. Let's have this goal created all together, mutually. So that was missing. And that was like draining me, hurting me. I remember I used to drive from my home to Hialeah, having the parents in my living room over the weekends and helping them find different therapy clinics to go here and there, who can take their insurance, who cannot take their insurance, which school can have them, which public schools tell them not to come in, or charter school tell them not to come in, or any of the private school tells them not to come in. So I was struggling and juggling. So that's how I took this step, and it's a long journey of 10 years. And now we are blessed to help many families.
Opa-locka is blessed. Now, let me ask you, Opa-locka is improving, but it's a place that's gone through some rough past. Like I had on Mayor Taylor, and he talks about, he's from Opa-locka, that it was known as a high crime area, a more financially disadvantaged area. Why did you choose Opa-locka?
I choose Opa-locka because there's a lack of a structure there in the specific households. Like families are very low socioeconomic. Mm-hmm. You can see that twice a week. Opa-locka is doing great right now because Opa-locka twice a week is opening the food pantries for them. Mm. I participate with Health in a Hood. I get fruits from Health in a Hood, not only for my students, for all the therapists and everybody as well. So Opa-locka is doing their best in order to make sure that the families are not regressing. Families have every outsource coming in. They recently invented a taxi as well. It's a free taxi, Furby something.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Let me ask you, the food pantries, who's funding that?
That is coming from, the food pantries are coming from a different... It's coming from Health in a Hood. Yes, it's coming from the Health in a Hood.
And I've heard of Health in the Hood. They're based in Opa-locka?
They changed their stations.
Okay, yeah. So great name and branding.
I think Commissioner Kelly is the one who runs it.
Super nice. And there's also Farm Share. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yes.
Yeah, different services. Super nice. And they said this is twice a week.
Twice a week.
That they're doing this. Something that I just recalled now is talking about being underserved. It was June or July. Remember Anthony Brown?
Yes.
Who drowned in he's from Opa-locka and he drowned. I remember I get this story in my inbox that a little autistic boy had gone missing in Opa-locka, and I thought to myself, if he's not found very soon, I know how it's going to end. Then the next day they found him. He had drowned. So I'm wondering, like, as far as drowning prevention, what is Opa-locka doing right now as far as that?
It's a heartbreaking story.
Yes,
of course, it is a heartbreaking story. I think in this situation, we all have our condolence for that family, including the Opa-locka leaders and our school. At this point, we all know that water is the highest stimulation to the child with autism. Mm-hmm. I think 85% they are stimulated with water. They like to play with water. Our first responders and our police, if they can be trained how to approach that individual who they can see far away near the water and save that, rescue that, I think that training is very helpful for our caretakers. In our school, what we do, we have a very unique ID system. So every student in their backpack have their picture, the police information, or the barcode, plus their parents' phone number in the back.
Super nice.
If the child is lost, run away, and have a backpack which with a zip tie and the tag is there, they can easily be found. But if the backpack is not along with the student, I think we should invest some federal dollars through Medicaid, we should invest in some kind of AirPad where we can have that AirPad hang on anywhere in the shoes, maybe handcuffs or anything. As a necklace is not going to be possible, but at least we can tie on their shoes.
What is the cost of those?
Not more than $50 to $60.
Yeah, not a lot of money.
No.
Compared to everything else. So this program with the police, is that voluntary? How does that work? Where they have all of the child's information?
I think the police can have a training how to.
No, I mean like when you register a child.
Yes.
That's all voluntary, or are you mandatory with your school? How does that work?
No, we don't register our child with the police.
But you said they have this ID on their backpack.
Our school does it.
And
that's from us.
And then you give that to the.
We give that to every student, whether it's a regular education or special education. Everyone gets it.
I think that should be actually mandatory for all these schools,
yes.
especially with autistic kids.
Yes.
Because have you heard of Spectrum Alert?
I heard it, but I've never get deep in there.
Okay, so you've heard of Amber Alert?
Yes.
Okay, Amber Alert. If a kid goes missing, there's a system to find the kids. So they came up with a system called Spectrum Alert, where if a kid goes missing, the police have these protocols that they know they have to follow, and one of them is to go to the nearest body of water. So and that's Spectrum Alert. So I think we have that law, and I also think that the AirPads, like you're talking about, that should be mandatory.
Yes, and mandatory.
$50 a kid, that's not that much money.
100% should be.
Yeah, because when a kid drowns. So going back to Opa-locka, there is a big Haitian population there. Many of them are only Creole speaking. Is there like a language barrier with you guys? How does that work?
Opa-locka is mostly is changing more into Hispanic community.
I've seen
Haitian,
that too.
Yeah, the Haitian is more towards North Miami Beach. So we have more Hispanic coming in. The language, yes, but we do have staff which speak Spanish. So that's not a problem.
Okay.
We have the English as a second language. Some students who are with autism, that's true. We do have that difficulty, and they only have learned till age 6 Hispanic. So yes, this is a challenge.
Yeah. When I went to the first grade, I had to go to summer school for first grade because I didn't speak English. I only spoke Spanish at home. Yeah. So I know what you're talking about. Now let's go to back to your school. When parents arrive at your school, they've already been through other schools most likely, and maybe had good or bad experiences. What are some of the assumptions they bring to your school that maybe you have to change their minds? Like, no, that's not how things are going to be here. Maybe they're going to be better, going to be different.
Our school has the most transparent concept, and that transparent concept, we have cameras in every classroom. Parents don't have to make an appointment with none of the administrators. They can walk in anytime in a lobby, grab a cup of coffee, and view their child from the screen in a lobby. How they're interacting, how they're learning, how teacher is teaching. They can see it. They don't have to make an appointment and to wait. Just walk in and view your child. That's number one. Every classroom has a camera. Number two is we assure our parents that why we are different. We are different because we are year-round school. So students are not at home for 3 months of summer, and therapy continue, and our teachers run the summer school as well. So there's no summer camp coming in where they have to learn this student again, or the student has to learn the caregiver again. So that's a second benefit. The third is we also have a free meal, just like public school. So there'll be no issue with the meal needs to be packed or so and so. And the fourth is the stability of our teachers. As I mentioned, I wanted to be a change maker. So I create something. And how? Every child with autism, as I said, they need a structure and routine. They will have an extreme anxiety if they see a new person or a new route when they are driving with their parent, correct? So Florida, we are not that lucky about it, that has a abide contract concept. Just cause. Abide contract means just cause. Employee can leave anytime a job. An employer can let go the employee anytime.
Okay. Yes.
It's a just cause. That just cause really hurt a child with autism, because that teacher has this benefit, has this capability to just leave out if they don't like the classroom or they don't want it to handle the children. I suffer with that. A lot of time I myself put myself in a classroom and till midnights in my office to do the office administrative work. So I thought what to do that I have more stability in my teachers, which can serve my students. So I reach out to international teachers. Now I hire international teachers out of the country, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Philippines. So I hire out of the country and India. Not only hire these teachers, I give them a great benefits, and that is free housing and free transportation and every Saturday leisure activity, no cost to them. So it's 100% paycheck is only for them. Why this offer is out there and so unique? Because I can challenge that no South Florida school, public, charter, or private, offer free housing and transportation and leisure activities to the teacher. We are doing this because we want this teacher to stay committed to that child for 3 to 5 years. And we don't change teachers every year. The same teacher will teach that child for 3 to 5 years.
Very important.
Now, not only to the international teachers. Let's go about some Hispanic teachers we have, some African-American teachers we have. Of course, we want that diversity in our school because we do have that population to serve. Them also, we contribute towards their housing, whether mortgage or rent, on top of the health insurance, on top of the retirement, on top of the salary. This is a very high cost.
That is very high cost.
For the sake of our children, because we want our teachers to be a voice for our students. We want ourselves to be the voice of our student. All these nonverbal students must have a caregiver, must stay committed to them. Do not leave them. Do not abandon them because of this law.
Now, we spoke one time and you made it a big point to tell me that, no, we are a private school, not a charter school. What is the difference?
Being a private school, we can design our unique program, our unique, the one I just give example of the teachers' housing. We can design any unique approach to our students. For example, we bus our students during school hours to karate and martial arts schools, dance and gymnastic schools, flag football and cheerleading. We bus them out.
Charter schools couldn't do this.
I don't know if they cannot, but I think they have a lot of federal regulations.
Okay.
From
and state regulations.
State regulation from the district. They're doing the great job. We are not saying that they're doing anything wrong, but they have to follow that district rules and laws. As private schools, we don't have to. We are non-traditional and they are more traditional. Then we have hobby clubs. Every Friday after 12 p.m., no one does any reading or math or science or social studies or social emotional curriculum. Every Friday, the students will report to cooking club. They will report to fashion designing makeup club. They will report to cheerleading club. They will report to arts and craft, jewelry making, oil painting. These clubs are offered. Anime, Pokemon, Legos, all these. Why? Because we want these students to feel that this is their place. This is the place they are wanted. This is the place they can feel, I look forward to go to school. Not to cry, I don't want to go to school, but to cry, I want to go to school, because this school know how to reach to their intrinsic motivation. And that is the intrinsic motivation. They look for that privilege. I think the public school do not have the hobby clubs. Plus, we have in-house music classes also. So twice a week, we have music class too.
Super nice. Now, some of those classes, they sound like maybe job training also?
That is a whole different thing, though, because our job and vocational training for our 14 years and over students, 14 to 22 year of age student with special need, we take them out in community. We take them to banks for money management. We take them to post office to mailing skills. We take them to clinics for medication management. We take them to social security offices to fill out their application to know their benefits. So we do that outsource. Training for them. That is our vocational job training.
That's super amazing. Now, you keep your kids until 22?
Age 22.
And then how do you make that work? Because like my daughter's still a little girl, so I don't know how this works until 22, because most of the time you graduate when you're 18. So when these kids, are they graduating at 18 and then you keep them for other classes? How does that work?
Okay, when they graduate at age 22, we connect them with Ken's Crew, Best Buddies. We have Best Buddies, we have Ken's Crew, because we are preparing them in-house from age 14 till now. And we have the whole curriculum design in-house, and we did it bi-weekly and monthly. And that syllabus is already in their folders, and parents see it every week, what they're doing. So we graduate them after, we prepare them for the job and vocational life, daily independent living skills life, through Best Buddies, through Kent's Crew. And now we have explored a Miami-Dade college is also offering, and now we are moving towards it. I can't recall the name exactly.
I'll think of it, but
Yeah.
I've heard of this program also.
Yes, Miami-Dade have.
Now, you talked about, in the questionnaire I sent you, about families falling off the cliff when the kids turn 22.
Mm-hmm.
How do we prevent that? And what is the cliff to you, and how do we prevent that?
It's one of our vision. This is our school vision statement. It's from there that I personally want to expand in a way that my campus will have the Office of Advocacy, where we can talk about after age 22 housing. We can provide that. We can talk about the trust accounts. We can talk about their guardianships. I wanted to have that office in-house for my families. So they already prepared after age 22 where I'm going to go. Right now, they don't have anywhere to go except going in a group homes. And group homes are for older people, not for someone who's age 22.
No.
We're declining their strength. Whatever hard work we did throughout this journey, we're going to decline that. So we don't have housing, unfortunately, in Florida. And this is our vision. I want to have a campus where the home is there, where they can say, this is my school and this is my home. This is the living facility I want to provide. I want to have the advocacy there.
There is some housing like Casa Familia, but it's not enough. Because like Casa Familia, it's 9.5 acres in Kendall, and it only houses 100 and something, adults with autism and other disabilities. And it's like, that's not enough. So when you talk about the housing, like you have housing for your teachers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's there in Opa-locka to make it easier. Now, do you have a housing project for the students as they age out, or that's like a future plan?
This is our future plan, our vision statement.
And then the kids who are graduate at age 22, employment and housing to me are a ticking time bomb, because more and more kids are being diagnosed with autism, and we're not prepared.
So let's involve our civic leaders. Let's talk about to make this bill as a statute.
What bill?
That bill to pass about housing,
Okay.
about guardianship, about some kind of subsidies to provide towards their trust account. So I know that now, since we have a new government of Donald Trump, he is giving, I believe, $1,000 or $2,000 to anyone who born now.
Yeah, something like that.
This is something like this. So why not for the special need, little bit of higher rate, and then to chip in every month in there? Otherwise, we're going to have a higher divorce rate. We are 36% divorce rate in United States at this moment. 1 out of 31 child is diagnosed with autism in United States, and 1 out of 100 in the whole world. So let's prepare ourselves. Within 10 years, is a huge wave is coming with adults with autism, and all of us, which is a typical narrow system, we need to know how to accept and how to deal and how to welcome them in our regular life.
According to the CDC, it's not 1 in 31, it's 1 in 22.
Oh, so it went down then.
Yes, or went up.
Mm-hmm. From Council of Exceptional Children.
Yeah, and then I saw a report out of California, which they say has got the best numbers. With the boys, it's 1 in 12, which is frightening, because that's like 8% of the population is autistic. And then the housing and the work, we're not prepared. Mm-hmm. And then you talk about like guardianship. I went to a workshop on guardianship, and they were talking about how expensive it is. And I could look at some of the parents like taking very deep gulps, because it was like the packages were from $6,000 to $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in Opa-locka, that's maybe just impossible.
Absolutely impossible.
So I don't know
those families only have just one meal a day.
already.
Yes.
And how do you set aside
And that meal
$10,000?
is hardly can be a hot meal. I'm telling you. Most of them are the bread and butter.
Yeah. And then I know people would say, and I understand, the other say, well, it's not my child, what do I care? But one way or another, society's going to pay for it.
Yes.
So either we do it like upfront, in a caring way, in a generous way, or we're going to pay for it later on somehow.
They will become a burden on our community. And all that federal dollar, if the federal government has money for them, they will provide them housing. Otherwise, they will have nowhere to go to. Maybe they end up in shelters.
Or on the street.
On the street.
Now, let me ask you about the kids who are graduating. And are you placing them in jobs? How does that work?
We place them in jobs through Ken's Crew and Best Buddies.
Ken Screw? Like, what is that?
Ken's Crew is the organization. I believe they are non-profit as well. Their attendants stay with that personnel for 6 months at the job place. And then
nice.
after 6 months, they fade away that the independency.
So Ken as in Ken.
Ken and Crew.
Ken Crew.
Ken Crew.
Ken Crew.
Krew.
I got to look them up.
Yeah.
And the hood. What was it again?
Health in a Hood.
Health in the Hood. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that name.
Yes.
I was speaking to the founders of Assisted Employment Services, and they said that one of the problems they had was transportation for their workers, because some of them depend on STS, but STS is not reliable on times.
Yes.
So if your worker can't get to work on time, the person's already there.
Yes.
They've got to stay over, and then that creates a burden on them. And then maybe when the young people get out of work, they're maybe sitting outside of a closed store for an hour or two, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Have you seen this problem with your workers?
Yes, we do have it. We have some students who are still sitting at home. They couldn't continue because lack of transportation, as you said. So once again, we have to put our civic leaders together, and we have to put our mayors and commissioners together. These are the number, these are the rationals from census, and these are the CEC number, Council of Exceptional Children. Let's plan from now. Can we provide them transportation? Can we provide them the meal? Can we provide them a housing? What money can be gathered from that specific city, so these individuals do not become a burden to our society?
And the founders of this employment service, they told me that they would be happy to buy a van and drive their workers and pick them up, but that VR, vocational rehabilitation, had a rule against it.
What?
Which I thought was insane.
Uh-huh.
And because you have basically these bureaucrats making these rules that don't really make any sense. They don't make sense to me. Because if the providers like yourself are willing to drive them, you should just be allowed to, but they wouldn't allow them to. So it just makes their kids, unemployable, which I thought was just incredible.
Maybe couldn't be a safety issue either, because public schools, they have the attendant in the bus for special needs. And this shouldn't be a safety issue.
And these are adults we're talking about.
These are adults, right.
So that there's less safety issues with adults, obviously, than with kids, which I found just crazy that we have these bureaucrats making these rules. So yeah, we have to put more pressure.
Right. Yeah. The Ken's Crew do not provide transportation either, but they welcome our students to Dolphin Stadium, Wawa gas stations. I think another one is
Car
the
Wash
Home
is also
Depot.
high.
Yes.
The Home Depot.
Yeah, they welcome. And it benefits the employer also, because they get the taxpayer break in there.
Oh, really? What is that? What taxpayer break?
I think when you hire someone with ADA, Adult with Disability Education Act, then they get some tax break as well, I believe so. I don't know much about it, but yes, they do.
Now, are you personally having conversations with employers?
No, I didn't.
So how do you place your people then?
It's through the Ken's Crew.
Oh,
they're
through the Ken Crew.
Yeah, they're the one who does it.
I got to get them on the show, because that is one of my pet projects is employment, housing, and then of course drowning. For me are the big three that aren't getting enough attention. So I asked you, well, you know what? I want to go back to the cameras, because I remember reading an article years ago that the public schools were fighting having cameras in the schools, which I understand, I don't understand, but then you just go ahead and do it. So if you're a parent and you go to a school, what are, let's say, some red flags you're looking for to make sure that this is the right school for my kid? I mean, one, if there's cameras, that already makes me feel really good.
Yeah.
If they don't have cameras, maybe it's a red flag. What are some red flags that parents should be looking for when you go to a school like yours or any other school?
I think the red flag can only be seen through the child's eyes. How are they behaving when they're back from school? Because our children learn from action. What action they have exhibit in the class in the morning and what they're doing now at home is the part of that. How the teacher speaks, how the other students interact, how the learning is happening, is everything will come out with the child's behavior. If the child behave aggressively after school, it means that they were not treated correctly in the classroom. I'm not saying 100%, 80%. Could be a school-bound issue, could be a home-bound issue, could be a cognitive issue. But however, it's easily to target whether this school is right or no. and then we have the communication tools. Our school provides cell phones to every teacher. I did not mention this earlier.
No, tell me about that.
So our school provides cell phones to every teacher. Parents can contact on that school cell phone anytime.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, the school that my daughter goes to, all the moms are on a WhatsApp group, and they're always talking. And they've actually and also my boys' school, they've made changes. There's been things that they didn't like, and by all the moms or dads getting together, they're able to make change. So it's so important to have these groups.
Yes, open communication. But the cell phones are basically for each individual parent to reach out to the teacher anytime. And then they have different platforms. They have digital platform, Class Dojo. We have Grade Link. We have, for our non-verbal students, we have a written documentation goes home as well. We have a daily progress monitoring documentation as well. Then we have a diaper changing schedule and monitoring as well. We have the personal learning classroom pullouts as well.
What is that?
Personal learning pullout for children with special need. For example, if we have 15 students in a classroom, they will divide into half and they will meet with the teacher for 30 minutes in a separate class. And then 30 will be with the assistant principal or with the assistant teacher. So that's called a personal learning classroom. So within that self-contained classroom, we have integrated the pull-out of resource room.
That's amazing.
And these are all for our non-verbal classes.
My daughter's nonverbal, so that's good. Now, you talked about the daily progress reports. That seems like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. So daily progress report is for example, we have a visual schedule for our special needs students, visual reward system for our special needs students. So within that 6 hours of school day, we have a speech therapy within that, and then we have a math worksheet also coming in, for example. So whoever personal or therapist has that child at that time, that person has to initial that, yes, this is the worksheet they work with, and this is how they progress, and this is how I helped. So there's a detailed information there for the parents, and every week we change that. So having that child among so many people, we wanted to make sure who did what. We need signatures. We need transparency. And our therapists know every therapy room has a camera as well. Everywhere.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Now, you were saying earlier about that the child will communicate to you.
Yes.
When you get a new child, new at your school, what are they communicating to you that maybe they were in the wrong place before?
What they will communicate with me if they were a wrong place before. Non-verbal cues we're talking about?
Yeah, non-verbal. Of course, non-verbal
cues.
Because they're not going to be the best at verbalizing, I don't think, right? I mean, my daughter couldn't talk to you about it.
Very hard to understand what type of experience they had in past. It's very hard. Extremely very difficult because they are non-verbal students. They cannot say. Parent is their voice. But however, when we do their placement assessment from unique learning system, that gives us the clue that how much students have learned, because we have a sign language in there, we have social emotional syllabus in there, we have task analysis syllabuses in there, we have the daily independent living skills syllabuses in there. So we go through what we do, and we go through what the past history is of the student, how much they're capable in our placement assessment unique learning system, and then how we find out the weaknesses and strength. And of course, we need to pull out the students from all their weaknesses. We're not going to let the weaknesses stay there. If they cannot hold the pencil, let's find out what tool we need to get to hold the pencil. What we need to buy. Every student is so individualized in our school, Victor. Extremely. Everyone has their own basket with all the folders. They have their own containers for the word of the day. They are speaking with the 3D item in it. So everything is very individualized, and that is the beauty about private school. We are non-traditional. We don't have to follow the district regulation and rules.
But there are still guidelines you have to follow. Of course,
the guidelines, overall guidance, how to have that student under South Florida, the Step Up a Student program, I would say so. But how we teach, what tools we use, what resources we do, we don't have to take permission. I don't have to take a permission from someone that my low socioeconomic family, the child love karate and martial arts. They cannot bus them. They cannot take them. They cannot pay the hourly rate. Oh my goodness. How that child will have this extracurricular activity of dance, martial arts, karate, flag football. What's going to happen? We bust them out. And the child meet what they love. If they love, they will see that we care. If we provide them all this to them, they feel that we care about them. Because we are touching the roots of the intrinsic motivation, what they love to do. They will look forward to come to school. And this is the feedback we get from our families. Remember, we are not open in any, this school, South Florida School of Excellence, is not under the roof of any church who has a community support. South Florida School of Excellence is independent entity, has no support from anywhere except our civic leaders, our commissioners and mayors. That's all. We don't have any. This is just a word of mouth that we are now, within 10 years, reaching towards 400. We are 362 right now.
You need a bigger building.
Yes, we definitely need a bigger building, and we definitely I need to meet my vision. I will not going to be in peace if I do not open an advocacy office in my new building, if I don't provide all that resources the parents need.
What do you mean by advocacy office?
Advocacy office where parents can come and discuss employment, can discuss welfares, can discuss benefits. Likewise, we talked about earlier guardianship. We talk about student trust. We talk about where they're going to live, how they're going to live, where we can move them. Are they able to drive? I need that individualized, holistic, comprehensive approach on that specific family.
Yeah, and like I said, I had Mayor John Taylor on the podcast, and he loves you. He loves your school, and it seems like you're getting a lot of good support from Opa-locka.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They gave me 100% vote to open the school. Actually, before that, Miami Lakes, Mayor Manny gave me 100% votes to open the school as well.
100% what?
100% votes. Because I have to get a vote to open a school.
Awards. Okay.
Yeah, vote to open a school. So commissioner and mayor has to give me a vote. Everybody gave me 100% vote in Miami Lakes. But our bad luck was, at that time, I had 85 followers looking forward to be in my school. The only that Miami Lakes didn't have enough capacity, water and sewer, because every child needs 9 gallons of water to flush the toilet. So 200 students, I said, I'm going to fill 200 students within a year or two. So I need at least capacity of 500 or at least 300. Yeah. So I couldn't open there.
Last year when we met, you had 300 students. Now you're at 360?
360.
Which is quite a bit.
You have a waiting list for next year already.
I bet you do.
Yes.
And is it mostly Opa-locka, or are you pulling students from all over the county now?
The most we're getting from Kendall.
Oh, Kendall?
Furthest from Kendall and furthest from Weston. Yes, and from Weston.
Although I think that because traffic-wise, probably Weston's easier.
Yeah. You know why? You know why, Victor? Because the parents say, they count their hours of the day. They said, okay, I'm going to send my school to nearby my neighboring school, which is okay. I'm going to send there. And then after that dismissal happened, I have to take them to a speech therapy clinic, then the occupational therapy clinic, then the behavior therapy clinic. So what time I'm going to get home with my child, drained and exhausted? At 6 or 7 p.m. I have no family time with my child. I do not connect with my child because I'm the first therapist of my child. I'm the first caregiver of my child as a mother and a father. We don't have time. So they rather drive an hour and have the entire evening with their child and connect as a family.
At what time are your kids getting out of school?
1:30.
But you also have after school stuff, right?
We have after school stuff. Yes, we do have. But the karate classes, martial arts classes, they all are offered. These are offered within school hours. Hobby clubs within school hours. Therapies within school hours. If everything is done at one place within that time, and people like us, administrators like us, are watching and observing those therapies, are taking care of that child therapist, it's a lot of traffic. All therapists are required to clock in and clock out with biometrics. So there's no false incoming and outgoing can happen either. We have a specific designated person who monitor them because we are liable to Medicaid now because we are responsible.
Yes. Now, back to the private school model. When I was a kid, private school meant you had to pay out of pocket. But now with the step up, that's getting paid for by that. But it seems like a lot of these services, they're going to be more expensive than what the step up provides. Your parents in Opa-locka, how are you working that out?
So I believe I didn't mention that we are tuition-free private school. So whatever scholarship provide, we accept that. And mostly a student get 10,500, special needs student get a year. And we are year-round school.
How much?
10,500 a year. A
That's not that
special needs
much.
student get nothing. And we are 12-month year-round school. So you can divide 10,500 into 12 months. We are less than a daycare per week. And getting everything done under one roof, including free meals from National School Lunch Program, including summer with the teachers, not any other summer camp who's coming from outside, who don't know the child, and stability with the teacher for 3 to 5 years to stay with that student. So the learning is progressing. Student is progressing because they have a same caregiver for constantly that so many years.
So if a child's, let's say, in first grade, the teacher will stay with them till the sixth grade?
If the first grade, they will stay with them till 3 years.
Second, third, fourth, something like that.
Yes, because we have variation. Because remember, our school is not based on the grade level. South Florida School of Excellence is based on intellectual level. So we have names of our classroom. We have angels, heroes, nest. We have sunshine. We have horizon. We have stars. These are the names of the classroom. And these are divided as within 3 age groups: lower elementary, upper elementary, middle school, and high school. And then within that section, we have non-verbal section and we have verbal section.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Very cool.
So no one can regress.
Well, it's interesting you talk about the summer school because I had another educator on and she called it the summer slide. That the kids will get out of school for summer and then they slide back to where they were. Then you got to bring them back up.
Yes.
Now, something that I've heard from adult autistic persons is that they never got a break. They're always being forced. So like, kids do need a break.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a full 3 months, but kids do need a break. So do you guys like slow down in the summer months? Like more break time? How does that work?
Yes, there are more field trips are offered in summer. Yes, we do. But the education continue, social, emotional curriculum continue, therapies continue. We do not jeopardize that at all.
Now, what is the social emotional part?
Social emotional syllabus, the one we have created in South Florida School of Excellence, has weekly activities. For example, let's say lower elementary. In October, they will work on how to communicate. And that under the umbrella of communication, the different way of communication. So week 1, we will learn how to say good morning. Week 2, we will learn how to greet, how to keep the personal space. And that's how the whole month will be communication. So second month in social emotional is how to resolve the conflict. Can I share my things with someone? Can I sit close with someone? So there are different subjects within that month along with the worksheets and along with act outs. Last week, we have the brushing teeth. So we have got a costume of the toothpaste and toothbrush. We did that. Then we have also taught them, that's social emotional, which I talked about. Now I'm talking about task analysis. How to even simply wear their undergarments. We teach them how to wear socks, how to fold. If you look at our Instagram, those activities are mentioned there.
Mm-hmm. Now you talk about the communication. So I think of my own daughter because she's nonverbal. What kind of communication skills are you looking for with the nonverbal kids?
We have a Gus communication device and we have a communication Talk Pro app is downloaded in there. Those students are required. We provide them in class. Those tablets are available. Parents don't have to purchase those. That's number 1. Number 2, we have the PACS, Picture Exchange Communication System, through sign. I know they are speaking in a word or 2 or 3 words, but still we integrate the sign language in there. For thank you, for thank you, or I want, or I need to go bathroom, or I'm hungry. We do integrate these sign languages, even though if they are verbal, because we wanted to cut corners for anything which shows them the frustration, and the frustration will become into a physically aggressive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Because aggression is the part when they are not communicating.
Yes,
They
I see it in my daughter.
They want.
I see it in my daughter.
Yes. So every student is catered differently in our school. Some of them, they have a picture exchange communication system binders already right there on their desk. We know what they like, their food sensitivity, their friendships, who they want to be, the rewards they're going to pick for a day. And then some students, we have a different type of communication tools provided, like a Gus communication device. We have provided that to them. Some of them, they have the Velcro. They have a Velcro which they can actually take the Velcro and not going to damage that. We already have them on their neck, so it's easy for them. We know that this is student Johnny will always talk about 4 things throughout the day. So we're going to have in his Velcro those 4 things. What I want, I want to go bathroom, or I want a pencil, or I wanted to have my chewy. Everybody has a different stimulation. So that stimulation communication is there. That's completely tailored individually with individual student.
My daughter, she just turned 9, and she's becoming more aggressive. Like she's being aggressive with her grandparents. So I'm wondering, like, are you seeing that? And what do you think would be causing that?
What is her communication level is at this moment?
It's not good.
Okay.
You know, if we point things out to her, like, hey, you know, like, what is this? Like, go get this. She'll go get it.
Okay.
But as far as like speaking, she doesn't communicate.
So she's really awesome. She's good in receptives, but her expressive.
Yes, she's very low. Right. She's good
Very low in
receptive.
expressive. Yeah. What is expressive is. We definitely need to provide her tools. Otherwise, she will build the behaviors of biting herself, or hitting others. She will become.
She's been biting herself a little bit, not a lot.
So that's frustration. We need to get on it right away. You need to find a way. What is the easiest way? Can she take the book in her hand as a communication device? Can she use a tablet? We can download that app and we can give her, and we can train her, you want your toy, you say, I want, and point out the toy. And what are the toys she plays with? Let's take a picture and download on that app. So frustration level is, can go into very extensive. Yeah. We have students who have hurt themselves very severely.
Yeah, she hasn't done that yet, but she did a little bit of biting, but it wasn't there before, and now it is there. And then like the way she'll express herself with like myself or my wife is she'll grab us and just like squeeze us.
Yes.
And it does hurt.
She wants.
But she wants something.
Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a speech language pathologist on her.
That's cool.
At school.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So how about if you, do you want to have her speech and language pathology done through Medicaid from our health insurance?
Well, my kids right now are in Peru.
Okay.
So they're not in the Medicaid system. So it's,
okay.
Yeah, different country, but she goes to an autism school. It's very good.
Okay.
The plan is to bring them over here soon because there's just better services here.
Okay.
And then Miami-Dade County, we're just blessed.
Yes.
Schools like yourself and a lot of free stuff. And even just going to the beach is nice.
Yes.
Miami-Dade is a great place, and it's a very year-round place also. Now, you talked about sign language. Now, I've gotten mixed reviews on sign language because there are some kids that physically they can't do it. So the nonverbal kids who don't have the motor skills, how do we get them to communicate?
We do our best. We show them. We hold their hand and we practice hand over hand. Yes, that is true. So a lot of them do not pay attention. But if it's not doing from the fingers, let's show them the pictures. They can point the picture. They can touch the screen. There are many other ways we can maneuver and give them the augmentative communication devices.
Yeah, I'll tell you, as a parent, I've never taken anything personal. Like my daughter is where she is, and I don't blame myself. I don't blame my wife. Do you get parents like that are suffering with that?
Yes, Victor, that's true. Because when the parents walk in our school, they walk in with tears. They are frustrated. They're frustrated
and scared.
They're scared. They're frustrated. They don't know how to help the child. They know that this is the lifetime commitment and how they're going to work it out and to make that child completely independent and be a regular student. However, when we see this frustration, either it's coming from the social emotional side or maybe the academic side, those two frustration. And that could be a possibility of irregular emotions, how to handle that from the student side, and also the physically aggressive emotions, how to handle from the student side. So there's a lot of assessments involved, observation involved, hours of observation involved for every child. It's not just easy to admit and give the placement assessment and here you go, your classroom. We have hours of observation involved in it. That's why our ratio is so maybe 2 to 1 at this moment. We have 40 staff members, 100 plus therapists.
Let's go out to the parents because some parents are suffering a lot.
Yes.
Do you offer any kind of support groups for the parents?
We have parental workshops. We offer parental workshops, but I think, Victor, is very important. The parents should have their own group system, a support group system where their voice and frustration can be heard. They need an outlet. One of my family, I'm talking about one of my family, that I have two sons they're twins. One is completely regular. He graduated. And another one is Christopher. He's at home with his mom. The father's suicide. He jumped from the second-story building. He did suicide because he can't handle his 17-year-old son not even sitting in a car to go to school. And then what happened after that? The boy followed what the father did because he can hear it. He can't speak, but he can hear it. He jumped as well and put himself in a bed for years now. Christopher Viton, one of my 9-year-old, since 9 years I have him. It's a sad story, and I have many stories like this.
Yeah, there was a mom like a year or two ago that drowned her boy in a lake. He was profound here in Dade County.
Okay.
Maybe 2 years ago. He was profoundly autistic, and there's a video. And she takes him into a lake and she drowned him. She just couldn't
deliberately drowned him.
Oh yeah, deliberately.
Yeah, because we need a support system for our families. First of all, it's the financial support is needed, Mr. Victor. Financial support.
Yes.
If the mom goes to work, who's going to take care of that child? Divorce rate is 36% with children with special need. And especially with those low-income families, mom can't work. School don't want the child. School want the services. School have a difficulty calling the parent again and again. Pick up your child. The child is this, child did that.
Yeah.
So how the parents can survive? We have to have that some kind of support system from our federal dollar to be granted to these parents and families who have a special need so they can be at home and care for their child. Doesn't matter. Even though they don't go to school, let's do the homeschooling. And then let's have the ABA therapists come home. But they need money to survive. They need food. They need shelter. That frustration, either parents are suiciding or they're killing the child, or maybe the child is doing it.
Yeah, it's a really tough situation. And I think that if you're not in this community, maybe it's easy to just like brush it off or blame the parents. And unless you live it.
We can't blame I know this is wrong. I agree with you. We cannot blame a parent because they don't know who they're going to give birth to. A system needs to take care of those individuals. We take care of those who diagnosed with cancer, diagnosed with the kidney transplant, liver
HIV,
transplant,
what have you.
HIV, AIDS. Why not autism? Autism is also considered a disability. There is a medication out there. I think UST approved that medication. I want to recall the name of it. But I'm not sure it's going to work out for children with autism. It's going to suppress the anxiety and depression. Anxiety or depression, but no, it's not going to increase the verbal capacity, but it's going to decrease the anxiety.
Well, like I do a lot of reading on these different medications, and some work for some don't. Like there's this protein that I forget what it's called that some of the dads in my group, they're like, oh yeah, it worked for my kid. Others like, they didn't work for my kid. And it made it more aggressive. So we had to stop. So like all these medications, they work for somebody. Just not for everybody.
Some kind of blood test is there as called mercury blood test. It tells you what is low and what is high in the blood. And based on that, with the blood group, blood group, they can identify what food item should be given and what food item should not be given.
And back to divorce, that mom who killed her boy, they were divorced. And usually it's the moms who take care of the kids.
Yes.
Not always, but usually. And that's a tough situation because if you have a profoundly autistic kid, they need a lot more care. And then when are you going to work? And then when you are working, you're probably your mind someplace else. So you're going to be unemployed or just underemployed. And yeah, these people, they need help. And the help usually just comes down to money.
Our civic leaders has to have a wake-up call.
Yeah.
73% of the students in the United States, 73% children are with special need.
73%?
Let me tell you. I did this research before coming in. 73. 7.5 million ESC students in USA. 73 million total.
Okay, 73 million total.
And
which is still a huge number.
7.5 million with ESC.
And so ESC is what?
Special education students.
Exceptional student education.
Exceptional students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read somewhere that it's 1 in 6 people, this is the whole population, lives with some kind of disability. Mm-hmm. So if you take that number to Dade County, which is 3 million people, there's from like 400,000 to 600,000 people living with disability. And then I've asked people from the mayor's office to Dr. Michael Alessandri what the exact number is, and they have no way of knowing. Because some people report, some people don't report. So we don't know the exact number, but they're huge numbers.
Yes, it is. It is.
And it's only getting worse.
You know that children with special need is more than the adult with special need in the United States right now.
Really?
Yes.
Since, why do you think that is?
Because the fastest growing population, which especially children with autism, 1 over, you just said 21.
Yeah. And,
Yes. And there are 13 major disabilities, by the way.
Right.
There are 13. But
Major
autism
ones,
is major
but
ones.
other ones.
The other ones. But the autism is the fastest growing.
Yeah. I met these parents that their boys got Phelan-McDermott syndrome, and which is really bad. The kid's in a wheelchair and got a lot of physical disabilities, and that early on they couldn't get any support because Phelan-McDermott syndrome, there's only 3,000 people in the whole world that have it. And it wasn't one of the disabilities on the list. So they couldn't get the boy any services.
Right.
But then he's also autistic. So because he's autistic, they could get services. But the Phelan-McDermott part is much more serious than the autism part, I think anyways, because I saw the boy. He's got one of those big wheelchairs, electronic, that they're super expensive. And they couldn't get their boy any services until he was also diagnosed with autism. Yeah. So I'm curious, in your school, is it, you've got a lot of other disabilities besides autism, yes?
Oh, yes. We cater all disabilities except blind at this moment.
Okay. So you have kids with Down syndrome also?
Oh, yes. Down syndrome, traumatic brain injury, ADHD, learning disability.
Mobility issues, I'm sure also.
100%, yes. Yes.
But some of these kids with the mobility issues, they're going to be fine cognitively, right?
Not all the time.
But sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. It all depends. It's various. Some of them, I have actually 3 to 4 students on wheelchair in different classrooms. They have their own individual nurses with traumatic brain injury. Yes.
And so I guess that's why you have the 2 schools.
2 schools. The reason of the 2 schools is, Victor, because I wanted to integrate regular education population with special education population.
Why is that so important to you?
It is because they need to accept. The regular education population need to accept, not to run away from the special education. The way they talk, the way special education communicate, the way special education walk, the way they look, they may look different, but they are not less than anyone. They may slow, but they will reach their potential. They just need the right support to take them there. They're still the children. They are our tomorrow's children. They are for tomorrow's Americans. We have to take care of them now. That's what we need to collect, that federal dollar to put into the child trust account. Whoever born with special needs.
That is so big.
Big.
Yes.
That needs to be happen.
Because that money compounds for free. Mm-hmm. For all these years.
Yes.
Now, also, you have the kids with disabilities. They also benefit from seeing their regular peers also.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We have siblings in that situation.
Oh, you do?
Yes, we have.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yes.
Yeah, my boy and my daughter, they go to different schools because that school is not set up. But they love each other to death.
Yes.
And it would be good for for my boy, it's been really good to have an autistic sister, because you see the change in the kids. They're just more caring and accepting, because it's just always been part of their life. Yeah. So it's good that you have the siblings also in the school.
Yes, sibling also, because Victor, I thought about having a multi-dimensional model. Multi-dimensional model means that both services for regular and special under one roof. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about different floors. We're not talking about different the buildings. We're not talking about no interaction. We want that interaction. We want to provide them the least restrictive environment to grow, because people learn from seeing it. You can give a huge lecture to someone how to cook lasagna. Unless I practice how to cook lasagna, I will be the perfect. They need to see the typical children, how they act, how they behave, then
how they run and walk. And
yes, that's how they're going to. That's why we have everybody under one roof. We call it multi-dimensional model, least restrictive environment. And I truly believe on the Education for Children with Disability Handicap Act of 1975. It's signed by the President Gerald Ford. Mm-hmm. Our mission Look at this mission. This mission is based on what his act was signed, that every child should have the free and equal opportunity in schools.
Free and appropriate public
Yes,
education, the FAPE.
in
Yes.
school. And should have all services provided, all related services, special needs services provided.
You know, when I look back to like those acts, and I've done some historical reading on disabilities in America, we've come a long way.
But we still have the segregation. We still have a segregation in public school. Why the special need and regular on different floors? Why? Why they cannot be together?
Maybe logistically, I don't know. You know,
possible.
Yeah, I mean,
they're doing their best.
Yeah,
they're not saying yeah.
With the funds they have, and since I'm not in those buildings, I try not to judge, because it might be just logistics. Maybe going to the second floor if you're in a wheelchair is not possible. Like, there could be things like that. I don't know.
You know, Victor, who host our autism awareness support walk the most? Our regular education students.
Oh, yeah?
They are the one who make banners. They are the one who come up with the creative ideas.
Of course.
They are the one who play band and cheerleading, because they're cheering and bringing this awareness to our community, that this is the population needs to be seen, needs to be heard. And we are their voice. And we are not going to stop saying this. We're going to be their voice until we are alive. This is the concept I am pounding in the brains of my regular education students, that you need to accept them.
Well, it's working, because I think back to when I was in high school. I graduated in 1988. I don't think I heard the word autism until the movie Rain Man. Oh. But now if you're a kid, you've just heard it all the time. So, you know, we've come a long way. There's always more work to do. But I think that as a society, we've come a long way. I also think that Miami-Dade County is just a great place for the disability community.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
A lot of it.
Counties doing the great things. Yes.
Yeah, and they're aware of it. Yeah. I mean, there's always more work to be done, but like Mayor Cava, Regalado, and others that I talked to, like they're all on board.
And they will be willing to work if we bring these issues on the table.
Yeah, keep talking about them.
We have to communicate. These kind of conversations are very important.
Very important.
If we communicate, we bring the awareness, then they're going to act.
Yes. Okay. Well, we have been talking for an hour now. So I've got 3 last questions I want to ask you as we wrap it up, okay? So the first question is, what do educators outside special education misunderstand most about neurodiverse learners?
Outside the special education, they misunderstand about it. Because their approach is not tailored. They misunderstand because the educator's approach is not tailored based on the individual need. Special education means unique ability student. They have very unique abilities. If the staff is well trained, if the teachers are fully equipped, they will not oversee it. They will reach out to that potential if they are trained, educated, and fully equipped.
You know, I'm glad you say that, because every now and then a video will come out about regular teachers abusing kids with disabilities.
Yes.
And the kids acting out in a way that a regular child won't. And I think that if this teacher had more resources and more training,
yes,
maybe they're a bad person, but maybe they're just a good person who was in a situation that just took them beyond their goodness. And if we had trained them more, they might not have done the terrible thing they did.
Yeah, the ongoing professional training is very important. And Victor, in our school, since we opened in 2016, we have teachers and employees since 2016 and still with us.
That's great. That continuity is so important.
Yes, it is important. It is important because remember, when we hire a teacher, we are not hiring a teacher. We are taking care of our whole family. So our school is like a family. It's not only we only care about our parents. Of course, we have to. That's our community. And our students, we have to take care of our mental well-being of the caregivers also.
The care is so
They
important.
are the one who has to take care of a child.
Yeah, and it's
if
not
they
easy.
are not self-cared, they are not professionally trained, they are not equipped, they're not going to service the student correctly.
Yeah, you know, and I'll tell the parents of like regular kids, as frustrating as your kids can be, it's 100 times more with some of these neurodiverse kids, especially the ones that are profound.
Yes.
So I think that it's important to have a more understanding and less judgment.
Yes, and should be open advertisement and some free workshops should be offered for the teachers. There are no free workshops are offered, Victor, from the state beside random YouTube videos or the personal experience of the personal teachers. No. We need to have those training to be open and provided free for our teachers.
And mandatory.
We are missing that. We are missing those state
Yeah.
workshops. We are.
Yeah. So a lot of work to be done. We've done a lot of good work so far, but there's always more.
Yes.
Okay. My next question is, what is the one message you want autism parents to carry with them after hearing you today?
To make, I would say, not to give up, and to make a better choice when they pick a behavior therapist, speech language therapist, occupational therapist, and a teacher and a school. To make a very wise choice on that. To make sure that the place they're going to send their child, which is a part of their life and the part of their body, is in the right hand.
That's
for
really
8
hard.
hours. Has to be transparent.
Yeah.
Wherever they go, they need to see, they need to watch, they need to know the report on daily basis. This is all the equipment we provide in our school. We have cameras, we have screen, they can walk in anytime, no appointments needed, open door policy. School have provided teachers cell phones. Communicate with that cell phone. Have some video, have some FaceTime with your child. Within the classroom has a FaceTime with your child. That is important. Parents
absolutely
have to see that.
My wife, she went to go look at a new autism school in Peru.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes there, and instead of taking her to a real classroom, they had a model classroom.
Okay.
But there was no teachers or students in it. I was like, wait a minute. They won't let you in the class where the kids are actually taking classes. They want you to look at this like model where there's no people. And I was like, there's no way I'm sending my daughter there. We have to see what the school looks like with the actual kids in it.
Okay.
And they wouldn't let her do that. So that was like right there. We just, no, we're not going there because we need transparency.
Yeah, we need that authenticity and transparency. The parents should be able to sit in a classroom for the entire day to see transitions, to see the schedule, to see the interaction. This is what we offer our parents.
And to see the child.
Before enrollment, we offer that.
Yeah.
There's no cost to it. Just come and sit and you feel comfortable. It's up to you. If you think we are doing something wrong, please be open. We can make mistakes too. We will correct.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. If one former student spoke about your school 10 years from now, what would you hope they say?
Oh, okay. I want to give example of Vanessa, one of my second grade student. Now she's graduating this year, Vanessa Morel. She started with special education, Autism School of Excellence with me. When she used to come, she used to hide under my desk, and her sensory stimulation was touch. And her workbook will come under my desk in my office. And it took us 6 months to a year with the parental support, with therapists and myself, that we moved Vanessa from under my desk to the classroom. And then after that, within the special education classroom setting, now we moved her to regular education setting. She's graduating with the regular credits. She just visited Miami-Dade College to sign herself up with the other students. So she's my autism student, and now she got the regular education credit, 26 to graduate, and she's among the regular population.
This Miami-Dade program, I forget the name of it, but I know about it.
Yes,
they're doing a very good job.
We're going there in 2 weeks.
And what is she going to study?
I don't know what she signed up for. She loves arts and craft, so I think she's going to go towards that. I do have pictures.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Well, Miss Batul, this has been a phenomenal conversation with you. I'm so glad we had it. I can tell you got a lot of passion for what you do. And all the parents I spoke to that day that I met you at the autism walk you had in Opa-locka, everybody raved about you.
Thank you so much for having me. We're having another 2026 Autism Support Walk on April 24th, which will be the Friday. Okay. Last year, we had 800 individuals participated in 5 to 6 cities with commissioners and police chiefs. This year, we are thinking about more than 1,000.
Yeah, there was there was police cars from all over the county and fire trucks. I took pictures and videos of all that. Yes. So you said April 24th?
April 24th.
Okay, you got to send me a flyer and I'll put it in my weekly newsletter.
Absolutely.
And I'll put it in my calendar and come out and support you guys.
Yes, please do so. We're looking forward.
We're
looking forward for a strong relationship, right?
Me too. Okay, let's turn to the camera and we'll sign off. This has been the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Therapists. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Okay, thank you so much for having us. We're looking forward for a strong relationship with you.
Thank you.
Thanks.